We'll start.
Yes, so welcome again. That we'll be talking about one question that we will discuss openly.
Sir,
There are, yes. There are, he's wonderful. He was pointing me like, he is going, he is going, I said. So first question, and then you can discuss with Michelle with one L only. So why so much breathing practices and what exactly is the goal? I have given you a hint. I always give an idea I discuss with people, not with the regular classes that I conduct, because it needs a lot of training, deeper understanding. But I have always been talking to the serious students in India and here also. Two doctors did the yoga online and then they came for 2 weeks. Well, so they were also very curious. So I discussed with them also scientifically. So that is my knowledge. So first question, why we are doing practices? What is the goal? Where we are heading to? Or it is like Walmart, you have hundred of things. So that is the first topic that we are going to take up and practical use. Second is this great, he is smiling, the smiling guy. Claims he is psychologist, he's MD, MS, all the degrees. And then he explains one mindfulness practice that does not fit the fundamentals of teaching. And, I got this email day before yesterday. And I said, what is this guy talking about? Yes.
I have I have a video on the 29.
Yes, Tony, that is what you have to be very knowledgeable. You should be knowing the things, the clarity. Otherwise, they will beat you. You will stand no if you want to have this profession. Then we will talk about the Shanti meditation, the higher mindfulness. We will go deeper. What exactly is mindfulness? What it means? And how Americans and the Europeans have mindfulness when this word. Once we understand that, then it becomes very clear for us and we can play with mindfulness. That is your choice. And then once we have time, we'll talk about these two great texts, Yoga Kundalini Upanishad and the Vivek Chudamani. Remember, my friends, this is not the end of any meditation. This is not the end of even Kundalini. This is only one Upanishad. But there are another 5 or 10 different texts. They work at a very higher plane, higher stage of the consciousness. You simply talk, you listen, you become aware, and this energy is established. So I'm just holding myself up to this text. So whenever you find time, leisure time, playful time, read it. Read this. This is all the verses in Yoga Kundalini Upanishad will be taught. So now coming back to the one question. How do you understand why we have so many practice? Ujjayi, Surya Bheli, Retaining the breath inside, retaining the breath outside, long breath, deep breath, fast breath, quick breath. 4-second retention, 10 seconds retention. What is this business? Doesn't it look like a Walmart business? They have more than 100,000 products. Yes, then what else? What is the fundamental? So that you should always remember this is the fundamental. I spoke about it a couple of times, so I'm just reminding you again. What is that fundamental which we are seeking? Yes, coming closer, but yet fundamental so that you can directly say yes. And then you can relate itself that yes, you know, you are from a Harvard Medical School, but we know our fundamental says this of all breathing practices. How you can relate it? Come on. Yes, that is the scientific explanation. But what is the fundamental? Smile? Samadhi? Yes, you're coming closer, but the samadhi becomes another topic. Samadhi means deeper meditation. So, as a byproduct, as a result of these breathing practices, the answer is yes. But what exactly is that? Do you realize that first principle that you realize that you cannot alter these breathing practices for 24 hours? Can you do any breathing practice for 24 hours? Bhastrika, Kapalbhati, can you do it? 24 hours? You can. Huh? Yes, you would be sleeping, or you'll fall into sleep, or you'll experience more lightness, or you will experience trance. You'll fall into unconsciousness if you're doing lot of breathing. So first thing that is. So now lot of breathing practices. I can say that I get depressed anytime my breath through both the nostrils changes. I want to keep it flowing equally, more or less equally through both the nostrils. You know, you're hungry, you cannot tolerate hunger. I cannot tolerate. You can say that is my weakness. I do anything possible. I do anything possible to keep my both the nostrils clear, open, equal. I'm giving you the principle. Yeah, I'm giving you the principle. Yes. So the moment you are doing it equally through both the nostrils, one. Second point, you can say it is not mandatory, but it is good that both the nostrils are equal flow and movement of the belly in relationship to the body. Yeah? Yes. So now what happens? And then we will do something. What happens? First thing that you are able to maintain your awareness all the time. Yes. First. Second is your crazy mind doesn't bother you. Returning again to the same principle. Little more deeper. Your drainage pipe is full of impurities and dirt and it stops. That is one situation. And the other situation is it is totally clean. It is totally clean. You can see the empty space inside. So when I'm breathing now, the deep, even the smaller breath, I can feel those sensations inside the walls deeper down. It is totally clean. For the last, I think, 4 years, I did not have cold and cough. Something struck here that's different, but both the nostrils are clean. Now, I start doing it. My goal is to check whether I return to my both the nostrils are clear. It is totally clear. I could feel the whole going down. There is no obstruction at all. So whether I do it single breath or double breath or bhastrika or kapalbhati or long breath or short breath or why not 150 different practices, my goal is this. But in a regular class, I am aware that people come for reasons of their stress, their anxiety, their duality. So what I said, come on, do it fast as you can. So within a short period of time, I can bring the result. Look at the opposite. Your nostril is obstructed. Now I'm guiding Ujjayi. My nostril is obstructed. I have to do something more. I have to do something more. Get all the benefits. You can talk about Kapalbhati. It's a fast expulsion of the breath that stimulates the brain because you're not breathing out. You're not exhaling deeply for a longer period of time. You're doing it instantly. That suddenly stimulates your chemoreceptors. So, but when you are doing it, longer exhalation, peripheral receptors, you're emptying the lungs completely out of carbon dioxide. These are secondary details. Again, coming back, these are secondary. The fundamental, the inner nostrils, and you feel. And I can promise you that when you are doing that and you are aware of both the flow from both the nostrils is equal, or at least this crazy hardware is always good. It doesn't pop up other thoughts. No other thought pops up. No crazy thing pops up in your that I have seen through experience for over years. So then I go back and I see Marina, the nostrils are blocked, no, not lit. So sometime I go for little higher practices than you can tolerate in order to clean both the nostrils. It may be any breath. Goal is this. So then what happens, do Kapalbhati and then you can get the benefits. Okay. That's a very beginner's level of teaching. Do this, Ujjayi, it will have this. I'm thinking crazy and still doing the same breath, nothing is going to happen. Come on, try this out. Then there is a duality, then there is an anxiety, then there may be a physical, mental, emotional. Either you have the illness or it is bound to manifest in future. There is a potential illness. Why? 90-minute duration, the breath alternates in order to tune with our nature. But when both the nostrils flow equally, You are in perfect tune with outside nature. Perfect tune with, you make me crazy, I will not. I will not. That's a perfect tuning. Tuning doesn't mean that you are influenced by the outside person. Second thing, the chicken. I think I did cover that topic. The chicken or maybe the dog breathes about 40 to 45 breaths a minute. 45 breaths a minute. You know the lifespan. The turtle breathes about 3 to 5 breaths a minute and lives for 150 years. They are perfect in tune with the nature. Yes, and then you can relate it to the metabolism. You can definitely relate it to the metabolism. The catabolic processes are down. And look at the creature, the turtle, how calm the creature is. Look at the hare, the rabbit. They also breathe about 40 to 45 breaths a minute. So at last, the goal is to come in tune with the nature. And that tuning has to be done when the air is flowing equally through both the nostrils. That is why in the last assignment in the paper, I gave that idea. I gave that hint. That is, I printed in with red colors, specifically. I don't know why you noticed. You might have seen, okay, it does sometimes changes the color. You see that? I specifically changed the color. I don't know whether you noticed that or not. Yeah, color printed. Paper, yes, paper was nice too. Yes, change the color intentionally to draw more attention. Yes, this is very important. So now, not going through it, and let us see what happens. And you can do any kind of a pranayama. So let. More open. People don't notice from outside me, but inside I become crazy. If my breath is not, it's not flowing through. I mean it, and even when I'm driving, I give that hint. I do that breathing even sometime for 40 minutes to balance. I instantly, even when I'm talking to you and giving a talk and I feel I do something crazy stuff.
I'll sit next to you.
Yeah. It is, like you cannot tolerate many things in life. I can't tolerate. So I have eucalyptus oil ready for me in my bag. Anything. I simply cannot live without. So, and at last I have one pharmacy aspect also that I have, some dilator. You can say, what you say, dilator? Or, uh, yes. At last, if I cannot do, I want my nostrils to remain clean. I hardly used. Well, I know. I'm just saying hypothetically, if you're using like Claritin or aspirin, it doesn't mean that you're going to feel. Yeah. I use it as a simple first step, putting the key into your car. The rest the engine takes care, and then I start. But it never happened. At least last year it happened one time, and it was in December, and I said, okay, before going to the class, let me do it, and I cleaned it. I was ready. So now see that when you progress through pranayama, that is that is the that is the main goal. So let us do. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and gentle breathing. Don't say you have eaten food now, so it doesn't matter. Pay attention to both your nostrils and start. Gentle breathing, no. You should know that you are doing gentle, you are playing with the breath. You're simply playing with the breath. You are not doing fast breath that you used to do in a class. Please. Gentle breath, equal breath, and you have a choice. You can do it with the chest, you can do it with the belly. I should hear your hissing, ocean breath, but a short ocean breath, in a short way, not big way, come on. And continue to be aware of the head inside. The moment you start feeling the lightness, close it, stop this breathing and open the eyes. And then become aware of the breath. Simply aware of the breath and check that the breath almost starts flowing through both the nostrils equally. And wait that. Eyes are open. There's a smile on the face. The goal is both the nostrils should flow equally. One. And you will also experience some changes inside your head, and the mind tends to become calm. Let us do it just casually. Casually close the right nostril and start. This time we will be doing it for 3 minutes, even if the nostrils are open, and then we will see what happens. I'm starting the stopwatch. Yes, started. Even with eyes open or closed, it hardly matters. It doesn't matter. Goal is this. But when the person is highly anxious, stressed, he wants a lot of do's and don'ts, add as many do's and don'ts. Don't worry about it. You can play with these rules. Not many people try to understand this. I'm teaching only this is the time, only this aspect, but you have to ask me, then only I'll take you to the next step of this. You are playing with it. Your mind should not feel that you are doing some practice. So that depends on you, your mind, your physical state. Everything is included. Yeah, you like ocean breath, it's okay. You like ocean breath? Ocean breath, Samir, means that like hissing breath. Like you hear the sound of the waves in the ocean. Not tsunami, that will be a problem, but yes, continue. Continue, and even if you start experiencing some change inside your head in terms of a lightness, continue. One thing is going to happen that your mind will say, oh, let me close my eyes, don't close it. Mind, you don't support me, why should I support you? Keep your eyes open and then see what happens. It's 2 minutes, 1 more minute. It should be regular, rhythmic breath, sound of the hissing, but playful. You are not breathing with any effort. You know, you're going for a morning walk. You are going for a morning jog. So it is a morning walk. It is not. So, but your speed is what speed is there that starts cleansing the air pathways. That is what I mean. That is what I mean. And stop it. What experiences you have. Okay, it's okay, it's okay. We'll continue. How about you? Clear. Tingly.
Like, yeah, wouldn't you be like a bird?
Yes.
When I go outside, I don't feel as bad as doing like
Anyway.
Like when you're lungs.
It has to do more with the prana.
okay, like a little bird, like salt being poured onto a wound sometimes.
It has to do. Now close the other nostril and do it until you have an effect inside your head, Michelle. We are not going to stop it. Eyes are open, but don't tell me which is not happening to you. No, not very fast, Samir. You just do it naturally. The speed is higher, and I'm telling you something very good. Normally, when you are doing this kind of a breath, normally the breath rate goes up to 40 breaths a minute. So you can easily make out, am I doing the 40 or more or less 40 plus minus breath a minute? That is going to help you. Michelle, you have to increase your breath rate a little more. Yes. How can you cannot have any effect? You too have two nostrils. You're also a human being. You're also doing the same practice. Some people have an influence little later. So just continue. Enjoy. You should be enjoying. That is the key. In a Hatha Yoga, you have to do. You have to make an effort. But we are migrating to understanding the secret that you're doing casually. You can do this kind of a breath anytime, anywhere, in any place. And then I'll tell you what I normally ask people to do it who move into a higher and deeper practices. Continue 1 more minute with a smile on the face. You can look at the wall, you can look at each other, you can look at yourself into the mirror, but maintain your awareness, keep your focus inside the forehead and see what happens. But don't stop. Do not stop. No, like the dog breathes about 45 breaths a minute. And still body remains still. Are we talking? Can we raise our attention and awareness and alertness? I'm not saying yes or no. You have to answer me. You see, sometimes the breath changes like this, the way Rodney is doing. It is okay. And that is what the nature wants you to tune with herself. And leave this. Now what happens, Mary? Do you see any difference in her face? Huh? Don't you see that? But note down that I want. Yeah, what do you feel? Yeah, you see, nostrils are clear. Yeah. Yeah,
almost like
little harder. So, yeah, and how you are?
I feel like right here.
Right here. That's wonderful.
So like when you
That's
said
wonderful.
burn, like I just picture like you said, I'm not like you said, I'm not, you know, like all the pain, like go. Yeah, of course, it's easy in my belly, also, but like when I get a little more aware, I bring it up here, like oh, like it will burn, like I'll leave it with people face. Otherwise, if I just ate two, I was kind of burning my that oh God, that I know like when I get two, I'm clearing it. I don't.
You feel this hardware is clear?
And I feel like my brain is like tingling.
Tingling. Yes.
yeah.
So, would you ever link this tingly with the hyperventilation? No, because it's a gentle breath. We are in total control. Second thing, how are you, Michelle? Tingly? It's okay. It's okay. Now you have to now see one thing more that I should olive oil look at. Normally, traditionally, we used to put sesame seed oil to keep the nostrils lubricated. There is another, the butter oil. So normally in America, it is not good to have the butter oil because of change in the season and too much of cold. So the sesame seed oil and mustard seed oil. I always use that. I keep 2 bottles. Yes, I keep 2 bottles. Yeah, I keep 2 bottles in my restroom and I keep 1 bottle in my bedroom. Before I go to sleep, I remember I put, it goes inside sesame seed oil. Mustard seed oil is little irritating.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yes, I know. I use that when my nostrils are blocked. It opens my nostril within no time. Morning, evening, afternoon. Sesame seed oil smells good and it lubricates. In Ayurveda, it has. Yeah. So you put not only lubricate this reason, but also, and it helps. With the disclaimer I'm talking about. So Samir, how do you feel?
I'm fine, sir. Light.
Light.
Lightness in the head.
Now he is a wonderful. He's like a very young boy. He's very sweet. So now let nothing happen. But nostrils are clear. Both the nostrils are clear. Okay. Don't change your position. Remain as it is. Remain casual. Eyes are open. Start with me. Now, you just watch me how I'm doing, and you have to do like this. Continue doing it. Continue doing that breath in a rhythmic fashion, rhythmic manner, playful manner. And at present, we are expanding and contracting the ribs. Continue. Continue doing it, but switch on to the belly breathing. Switch on to the belly breathing. Yesterday, I was in a restroom to clear my bowel. Simple. You have to allow these practices to happen in your life. If you want to do it, you will become crazy. If you allow it to happen, and I started experiencing the change in the lower belly. I could feel the movement. Normally people talk about peristaltic movement. Come on. And I said it was an easy flow. Everything was clean. You understand? Michelle is a very good subject. So when someone says as a private session, I have to influence his or her brain. Otherwise, I'm not bringing about any change in his or her life. I will be talking academically, do this breathing, do that breathing, do Kapalbhati, do Bhastrika, do ocean breath, do Surya Bhedi, do Anulom. Nothing is going to change. I have to see how the change comes. Evidence based. Continue. Now casually close your right nostril and start breathing with the same. I'm not anxious. I'm not into anxiety. I'm not reacting. And breath. Playing with the breath. Goal is to keep both the nostrils clear. Many obstruction. You simply rise in level of your awareness. But don't practice without the supervision. Now this is online recording. So don't practice without any supervision. And after deeper understanding of the different practices of pranayama, continue gently the left nostril and start with the right. Now you will come to know whether one nostril is blocked and the other nostril is open. And this time we are not going to leave until both the nostrils are going to flow equally. Watch these mammals closely or ask the veterinary doctors. They will tell you the symptoms of a dog having respiratory problem. One of my cousins was a veterinary doctor. He looked at with a love to the cow and said, oh, I have respiration. Continue. Switch it, close the right nostril and check again. This time you're checking actively. You may make it a little longer, you may be a little shorter. Even the shorter breath is in between 40 to 50 breath. And when you're doing the hissing breath, that is also more or less in between 30 to 40. But playful manner. Don't tell me later you are exhausted. If you are exhausted, you are not doing it correct. Yes. Continue. 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 Close the left nostril and start with the right. You can look at me. Smart, but look at me. Continue. What you will experience, that phlegm that is inside your respiratory passages, the upper respiratory passes start coming out. And you are cleaning. You're not doing it faster. It starts coming out. If there is any obstruction and you feel that sensation until the trachea, if I say so, you feel that sensation as if the breath is going deep down. Oh, I feel the sensation up to the throat and down the throat. Close the right, start with the left. Patience is required. Remember, the patience is required. Continue, 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 continue. Please continue, continue. It is not the timing. Our goal is to see and check both the nostrils are flowing naturally, equally. There is no obstruction inside, and the breath naturally started flowing, and it has become a diaphragmatic breathing. And once that happens, I can tell you, you will experience. Now bring the hands down with both the nostrils together. Belly. Make sure your lower belly. What is lower belly? The reason below the belly button expands and contracts. It means if the lower belly moves outside and inside, your entire body has to move. It is so simple. But if you maintain that awareness, continue, and it will become a gentle breath, because your breath, your mind goes to the lower belly first. It takes minimum 6 months of regular practice to change your mind, your brain, your breath, level of your fatigue. It will to discover all the time that your breath is equal, rhythmic, for both the nostrils, and you need not to worry. Sometimes you have those anxiety and the stress, and you can simply change the pattern of this gentle breathing, and everything falls into at least you will relax. You're doing gentle breath. You're giving it a time. Close your eyes and do nothing. Just do nothing. Pick up the sensation. You have to experience yourself. You have to learn from your own experience. I'm none to tell you. You have to learn from your own experience, my friend. That is important, my friend. Remember, you have to learn from your own experience. If you don't learn from your own experience, then what will happen? Academically, you will teach. Your eyes are closed and you're just looking the head and the neck outside and inside. Your own head outside and inside. Right arm outside and inside. Left arm outside and inside. Right leg outside and inside. Left leg outside. Faith, follow your own rhythm. It is you have to discover yourself. No more breathing. Open your eyes. How are you now? Yeah.
When we do the two nostrils, I feel more of a sensation. One, I don't really feel anything.
pick up. That is your take. So every time you do it with both the nostrils and do it until two factors were responsible. First thing that you realize that it happens with the two nostrils. Second thing, 10 minutes. We did 10 minutes. So every day before, while going to the bed, lying down on the bed and start doing it. Just do it. But make sure minimum 10 minutes. And if you don't get a sound sleep, let me know. We are meeting on, yes, Marina, how are you?
Hey, I feel like my one nostril still a little hot.
Until then, one has to do the practice. Yes, that is what I said.
But both breaths for me, I felt like a lot of sensation with that too. Like even
Yes, yes, it happens.
and then when we stopped, I was just like, I don't know, I just felt like very like it wasn't like a trance.
Trance.
Very like
Don't worry about the trance.
like I don't even know what it was.
Where you are,
I
yes.
don't know where it was, but I was like.
But you feel totally as if settled, body is settled, calmness is there, and everything is.
I feel very like
Find out another good word for sedated.
Yeah.
We talked on Wednesday about the pain studies on mindfulness.
Yes, pain studies and mindfulness. You see that? So that is how, even if my client doesn't like it, but I have to do something which is good for him or her. It's not a question you like it or not, but I explain to them, you may not like it, you may hate it, but I want you to do it. But even then, sometimes people don't want to do it. In America, we have a lot of things, privacy policy, confidentiality. I don't like it means stop. Stop. But then you can follow the other path to influence, to change their brain and all that. That is what you need to do it. If you are, so how are you running?
I was good, like kind of like similar to what Marina was saying. Like I see sometimes like it gets me difficult. You see how my mind will create these representations like really like that. And like I know it's like my nostrils like switched, but this one was flowing when I first started, and then this one became flowing every day. The same sensation, like I feel it like slowly rise up my feet and my hands.
Yeah.
And then like when we just sit still, it's like my body doesn't even exist at all. Like it's just like
Body doesn't
it's
exist.
just like there. Like,
Can you believe when I'm talking and I do feel that for hours together? What a state that you're in. You have to learn from your own experience. Nobody is going to help you.
So that's why I keep the nostrils clear because
Yeah. That keeps me, that is only one practice. You can say the higher practice. Now, in the presence of, in the face of this practice, it is a non practice. It is a non practice. You talk and then, okay, you can act. Even there is nothing, sometime I act in talking, making a presentation. Oh, how come you crazy? Oh, sorry. Okay, let us start. Can you maintain that awareness? Now, let me know the practice that we did and the practices we have learned. Quick and fast, short and fast. Right nostril breathing, retaining the breath. Breathing out, retaining the breath. Kumbhaka. Huh? Ocean breath, hissing breath. Surya Bhedi, hot nostril, left. They don't stand anywhere. We don't stand anywhere if you reach to that stage. So once you reach to that state, more levels where the teacher says, oh, you're doing pranayama, how long you're going to do pranayama? It is not going to affect you because they tell you from that higher state, and they are right. But when you go to a very primary beginner's level who is not even clear about what is a hatha yoga, no, ocean breath, calmness, hot breath, no, right now, no, Surya Vidya. I also sometimes I forget, so I remember those. Oh, only hot breath makes you warm. And so it is not. So you can reach to that state of the mindfulness. These breathing practices have been understood in Tantra tradition deeply. In Hatha Yoga, it is the primary practices. They are not the actual foundations. No. And then in the path of the knowledge, you don't change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. The path of knowledge and in the mindfulness practice that is coming from Buddhism. No change in breath rate. Only watch, observe. So both are present in the higher practices of. Now come to leave this. This is we have done one crazy stuff. Now second crazy stuff. Doctor, some degree of fear and anxiety is inevitable in life. So you can point out which one you agree and which one you don't agree. Our goal is to become totally fearless in life. So why should I start teaching people that we need some degree of fear? Question is this. The science will always teach and always start from this. Change the paradigm when you're teaching people. We want to be fearless. Yes, yes. That is why I printed out. You have to create your own presentation. Are you fearless, my dear Misha? Am I fearless? Yes. No. You're scared of me? What should I do so that you don't remain scared of me? Let me know 5 points. Leave it later. But for some people, these emotions can become truly debilitating. Yes, he is right. He is right. Keeping them trapped in a cycle that can lead to depression. Yes, even chronic pain. Why I should agree? Because you are a doctor. You know more about illnesses than health. So I should agree. No, I'm just no. So how can we help patients better manage fear and anxiety when they come up? Below you will find a simple exercise that anyone can use to work through these. Okay. And I'm not telling the name because it is being recorded. So he's a professor, okay? Where he is, is a Harvard. One of the first things we notice when we pick up mindfulness practice is how often we have frightened thoughts about the future. What is this? What we are talking about? No, what he's talking about. Two aspects, We pick up mindfulness practice is how often we have frightened thoughts about the future. That is why I spent 3 to 5 in the very first preparatory step. What is that preparatory step? Relax, steady, and happy pose. And if you don't spend it, if you don't follow the fundamental, you will miss it. No, come on, close your eyes, let me be mindful. Oh, yeah. What are you doing? You're doing some ujjayi and some, quick and fast and short and other breath. And you want to move them to mindfulness. No. And even the most subtle thoughts can cause anxiety. He's right. He explained about the Mark Twain. You can read it. How mindfulness retrains the brain to lower anxiety. They will never say it manages perfectly the anxiety because they are doctors. Right. So you have to think, be a good thinker. Anything that I say or anything, the research study says you have to think, contemplate with what reference they are saying. It is remarkably easy to see this for ourselves. Just take a moment to think about something. It is okay. Now go to the second page. Sometimes people say, I'm really anxious about what happened this morning. Okay, that is okay. Now go to a simple practice. I have a lot of objections to it. Let me know what is your objection. Let me share an exercise that can help you or your patients to do just this. Start by bringing attention to some sensation in the body, perhaps the breath or the another object of attention. Okay, continue gently returning the attention to this object for a few minutes. I do it generally. That is why, you see that I use a simple technique. Move the mind on the head and the neck. You see, fundamental principles, if you don't follow the fundamental principles, then you have to do more gossip. Yes, too much gossip is present. Huh?
You disagree.
Obviously, because he is following those fundamentals. But now, where I don't agree. No, you'll have to tell me. Next, see if you can locate some anxiety within the body. Why the hell I have to locate my anxiety when I'm going into mindfulness? I have a big question. Can we discuss? Why the hell I should go into any moment of anxiety? The thinker, even if the anxiety is not there, the thinker will go to the past and revive that anxiety in the present. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Michelle, let me know last time when you had the anxiety and start acting on it. This is too much. This is crazy. Why shouldn't I focus on peace? Because the science does not believe in it. Peace is my essential nature. They will never say you. They will always say it retrains the brain. That's why you have a physiological rest. You understand what I'm saying? It retrains the brain. That is why there are some physiological changes. When you do mindfulness practice, there is a relaxation response, which is purely physical according to the science. That is how they interpret. So the way you have a stress response, that is also physiological. So relaxation response, that is also physiological. So they say when you do this practice, the physiological response is there because it triggers your brain and it fires the brain to rewire. Our says that once you have that intent clear, the peace is your essential nature. I would never say, see the anxiety. I will every time I say, see the peace. Come on, Michelle, see the peace. Marina, see the peace. See the state. These sensations are of peace. So even if there is an anxiety, question is, even if there is an anxiety, in that moment of stillness, in that moment when the mind is living within, it will induce peace. So now you are going purely right. You are distorting the principles of mindfulness. I don't agree.
Like
They are understanding, but
they're trying to condition you.
This is mindfulness is not conditioning. Come on.
I know, yeah.
A wonderful idea.
I agree how it doesn't like translate, but I like get where they're coming from.
They're addressing your body, not your situation.
Not your essential nature. Remind themselves.
Relax.
Remind themselves. You see that just notice how it feels. If you can't find any anxiety, generate a scary thought.
Well, that part. Like, why would you want to induce that?
How can you challenge weird? They are from the Harvard Medical School. You see that? That is why. I got this mail day before yesterday and I read it and I said, and so scary thought to him, give scary thought to him. So,
Because it's your kid's fault. It's almost like when you have an allergy, they give you
what you're doing?
they test you, they give you doses of it to build your immunity. I feel like that's what they're doing.
Yes, Marina, that is one, because you are following the age-old scientific principle. Why don't you follow the fundamental principle of mindfulness and then do the objective research? We have no objection. You do the research whatever the way you want to do it, but don't destroy, then call it mindfulness. You see, she immediately said it, something weird. Generate a scary thought and an image to help conjure it. Conjure it. We want to get the anxiety going strongly enough to be able to practice feeling it, but not to be overwhelming. Okay, let me give you an anxiety, prick a needle into your body, and let me know.
Anxiety. Like, when is there
what is this?
Yeah.
What is happening? I'm totally, once you got some anxiety, just breathe. Why don't you start breathing? Why are you inviting anxiety?
It's already there. Like generating a thought is weird, but like what if it's there to go
I think
into,
they're trying to
address what
yeah.
it's coming from. Like,
Yeah.
the second part, like I feel like it's weird, like making a thought, but if it's already there, like isn't
Yeah, you
like
Yes,
like,
you're getting into it. Yes, you're going deeper into it. Yes.
Like that, so that part's not.
So it means if I have to get rid of anxiety, scientific principle, let me prick something in you, create an anxiety, and then apply the mindfulness. What is this? What I'm doing? You're right in that sense. I have to start with peace, my essential nature. Understand, you are always, that is a fundamental principle. This is non-self. This does not belong to you. Anxiety doesn't remain 24 hours. No, it remains 24 hours. How many hours you sleep? 6 hours. You were not in anxiety in 6 hours. When you're talking to me, you're conscious, you're aware. Maybe some degree you may have anxiety, but you're talking, you're aware of yourself. You're answering my questions. That is how you can move ahead. That gives you an idea that yes, there is some self which is. So I found it totally weird, but Michelle, they are from Harvard. Who is going to listen to us? But still you can make your point. Still you have to address, come on. I'm not challenging you. Yeah. Yes. So now you are firing the brain with an anxiety first, and before that is how you say that you are retraining. I don't agree with firing the brain with a negativity all the time. Is that not enough? Let me help you relax. Calm down. Move to help you in mindfulness.
It's almost like you said before. If someone says they're anxious, you have to make them aware of the anxiety, and then you get them out of it by acknowledging it and saying, well, I'm not the body, right?
Yeah.
So they almost sound like they're trying to do that because they're like, eventually.
No.
Right?
Yeah,
Because
go ahead.
eventually, almost everyone will have difficulty maintaining that anxiety. So it's like they're trying to get to that same principle, but it's like a backwards way to do it.
Yeah, that's cool. Black
This is.
It's just like it's not presented.
So because you do not know what the trance is, so let me give you a marijuana to go into a trance and then bring it. No, don't say silly, they are from. This can be enormously helpful since it will help clients to see that simply being with the fear allows it to come and go like all other mental content. The principle is right, wrongly applied.
Right.
Why? They are from medical school. They know 99% their medical science. They know 1% of mindfulness. So you can also declare they know only 1%. I'm very curious person all the time, very inquisitive. I want to know more. I am only made for knowledge. I want to know knowledge, how the knowledge can flow. So I would like to hear from you. You can go to their site and you can write your comment. If you like, you should be. I have already written and you can read my comments there also.
Oh, I'd love to.
So, no, I cannot read everything. So I spend 1 hour.
Were you trolling their page?
Yeah. No, 1 hour I read any different pages on psychology, neurosciences, latest updates. And when I find something interesting title, I read it. And then I become a member. If I have to comment, I simply comment there and I finish. I forget. This is just for your teaching. I don't care, you know. Yeah, when you respond, it will definitely come to my email because I have addresses. Without login, you cannot come. So if some comments comes, I know it. So now you want to take a break? Take a break for 5 minutes. Mental break or physical break.